USA Today's top 10 all things wine-related list-a-palooza has dropped, and we have our own thoughts on a lot of these. And so this is a special episode of This Week Uncorked. Hello and welcome to episode 57 of This Week Uncorked for Monday, August 18th, 2025. I'm Brett Martin from Cork and Journey. If you're not familiar with Cork and Journey, you should be. We're the number one source for corkage fees, as well as winery reviews, wine reviews, restaurant reviews, regional wine guides, and much more. Let's get right on into, well, not this week's wine news, but talking about top 10 lists, specifically USA Today's top 10 list that they just put out. Well, if you watched last week's episode, you may have noticed that I'm in the same shirt and the same background as I had before. I recorded these episodes back to back. We are traveling through Europe. We're in Germany now, but we are heading down into the Rhone Valley, and we're going to be really busy, so I'm recording a couple episodes back to back. But this one, I wanted to do a show on for a while, and this was kind of crazy because USA Today has a, hey, everybody vote for your top 10 lists, and of course, I think wineries flood it, and they go out to their members and they say, hey, please vote for these lists and do this. But I mean, this was like the best tasting rooms, the best wine country hotels, the best winery tours, and press releases just fly out all over the place when this happens. I'm just inundated with, hey, guess what? We're the number one tasting room and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to kind of go through the list a little bit. It turns out that on every single list, there is a place that we've been to, we felt was worthy for review, and actually did a review on because we thought it was that good. And that's another thing. I've had people say, hey, I noticed over on Cork and Journey, they're mostly almost 99% positive reviews. That's because life's too short to just do a garbage review. If we go to a place and we don't like it, we're like, well, good luck to you. Life's hard enough. Business is hard enough. Maybe they'll get better. Maybe we caught them on a bad day. But anyway, let's go through the list, and we'll start with the top 10 wine tasting rooms across the U.S. It's a really interesting list. I'm sure Freddie's doing a scroll for you here in the background. That's our producer, Freddie, who does this show while I just record it. So Irvine Roberts comes in at number 7. They're in Ashland, Oregon, and I would have to say this is an absolutely beautiful tasting room. And as a bonus, they have some very good Pinots as well. If you've never been up to Ashland, Oregon, there are a lot of people say, oh, it's going to be the next Napa. I don't know. It's situated in the right spot as climate changes. There's a lot of similarities to maybe where Napa weather was 25 years ago. And it's just beautiful to go up there. So, I mean, Ashland, Oregon is just a winner. Lovely place, great hotels, great food. Really, really enjoy it when we go up there. I'm looking forward to getting up there next summer as well. But I thought this would be a chance to go down memory lane and go through some of the best tasting rooms we've been to and why we enjoyed them. So I kind of chose a whole diverse group here. So I'll start with Joseph Phelps in Napa. Classic, big, beautiful Napa winery, modern, refined, scenic views, knock your socks off. Elegant, multiple seating areas, tastings are it's one to take a look at. I'm not going to duplicate regions here. So that's one of the finest ones I think you'll find up in Napa. There are a bunch of others that would fit right in there. Stag's Leap, Opus, we go on and on and on. Yeah, I've got a couple others I'm going to cover in here as well. Anyway, Galante Vineyards, Carmel by the Sea, Jack Galante, small little tasting room, downtown Carmel, lovely, fun, great. Worth checking out. Whole, completely different experience. Let's go to Sonoma, Corsi Graves. Again, this is Sonoma, up on top of a hill. Beautiful, beautiful setting, beautiful tastings. There's one for Sonoma. Siboney Cellars, Johnson City, Texas, Texas wine country, Fredericksburg. Again, crazy what they've done. They really have built just an absolutely amazing tasting room and wonderful presentation, and they're making some really decent wines as well. So Siboney, one to check out. And then Monte Chanique in Valle de Guadalupe, down in Baja California. Another one They have taken that whole tasting room up to a beautiful level down there. It's by appointment only, as most of these are. Galante, I think you can walk into. Siboney, you can walk into. Anyway, Monte Chanique in Valle de Guadalupe. Check that out. That was my take on some tasting rooms. And, shout out to USA Today and all of the people who voted for those tasting rooms. Only one we'd been to was Irvine and Roberts. So I'll check out some of the others as we go through. And they cover a nice variety across the country as well. And then they have indulge in the best of wine country hospitality at these top 10 hotels, or at these 10 hotels. And on that list, coming in at number 3, one we would have to agree with, which is Allegretto Vineyard Resort in Paso Robles, California. If you're going to stay in Paso Robles, you're going to do some wine country tours. We've stayed at a lot of hotels there, and Allegretto is far and away our favorite one as well. And they've got a great winery on premise. You can do a wine tasting there. And they've got some great restaurants, and you're kind of centrally located in a great spot. So well worth checking out. So that made me think, what are some other great wine region hotels that we've been to? And so moving on with that, not on the list. These didn't make the list, but you go to Solvang, stay at the Lansby Hotel, perfectly located downtown. You can walk to all the tasting rooms, never have to drive anywhere, never worried about a DUI. It is perfect. Exact same situation. The Atticus Hotel in McMinnville, Oregon, gets you right off 3rd Street. You are from that hotel probably a 2 to 3 minute walk to 20 different tasting rooms right there on 3rd Street in McMinnville. A lot of the wineries have tasting rooms there, very similar to Solvang, where it's like, you can drive out to our wineries or you can go to our tasting room downtown. Check that one out as well. Back down to Valle de Guadalupe, the El Cielo Resort. Again, Tina and I have stayed at just a ton of hotels down in Valle de Guadalupe, and the El Cielo is the best if you're going to stay there, in our opinion. Then let's move to Temecula. I told you I'm going to bounce all over the place here. The South Coast Winery Resort and Spa. You've got to stay in Temecula. That would be one of the places to stay. Go ahead, check out all the wines, do the tour. Just be real careful because, anyway, wine in Temecula, it's hit or miss. We've discussed it. And then wrapping up, the Ashland Creek Inn in Ashland, Oregon. We just talked about that with the Irvine and Roberts. If you're going to be up there, the Ashland Creek Inn, beautiful little bed and breakfast, lovely rooms, great setting on the river. It's just perfect. And from there, you can easily get out to all the wineries that are in Ashland. All right, and moving along, the last list I'm going to cover, I found more of these top 10 wine lists. Really interesting concept they got over there, voting all these. It gets the clicks, it gets the press releases. If you make the list, you do a press release, it drives people to USA Today. It drives ad revenue and on and on and on. So nice job out there, USA Today. So, all right, here we go. The best 10 winery tours in the United States. And coming in at number 10 was Omarosa Winery and Vineyards in Solvang, California. Now, we've been to their tasting room, but we have never, ever done the tour there. So next time we're out, I'm going to have to check out the winery tour. They do make some excellent Pinots at Omarosa. So shout out to them for making the list because tasting room was lovely. The staff there was lovely when we were in Solvang here recently. So I'm glad to see them get some kudos there. Tours are different. Instead of just going to the winery, sitting in a tasting room, tasting through the wines, it's usually the big cave tour. Sometimes they put you out on an ATV and they drive you through the vineyards. You've got a whole bunch of crazy things you can do there. So we've done some great tours. So I'm like, well, what are some of our 5 favorite tours of the wineries we visited? Number 1 with a bullet is going to be Clos Salines. This is in Paso Robles. This is an ATV tour. Fantastic. You don't even do any tastings. You're basically just driving all over the vineyards. What they have done there is just crazy with this piece of land that they purchased. And anyway, love that tour. Rugged, fun. Pine Ridge, Napa Valley. Wonderful cave tour. Wonderful tastings all the way. A wonderful vineyard tour. Well worth doing it. Moving on to Sonoma next. Gunlock Bundschu. This is one of those where you get in kind of like a safari type vehicle and you are kind of going out and tasting and going through the entire vineyard. Really, really, really well done. They have a beautiful property there. One of the oldest wineries in Sonoma, oldest family-owned wineries in Sonoma, if not the oldest. We're checking out. I'm going to go back to Napa one more time to Trefethen Family Vineyards. They do a just super nice tour as well, where they take you through the vineyards with the horticulturist, and you're going through their various properties, what they've done, various rooms. Trefethen puts on a great show and well worth checking out if you're in Napa as well. And then I'm going to go to Valle de Guadalupe to Bodegas Rubio Winery and Vineyards. Again, dirt road, you go on up there, but a super nice tour of their winery, their cellars, what they're doing. Just really, really well set up and highly recommended. So that's going to wrap up the non-news news section of the show. And with that, let's get right on into our wine and winery of the week. Well, this is kind of fun. Tina and I have been on this kind of Europe wine trip here for the last 65 days, and the first winery from that tour, the review's up and posted. We're going to talk about it. This is San Felice Winery, and this is in Tuscany, out in the village in San Felice. It is just, it's a medieval hamlet that's been completely restored. There is a beautiful resort there, a wonderful restaurant there. The winery is just super nice. The tasting room is nice. Some really interesting stuff from San Felice as well. Got a few bottles of it left. As a matter of fact, hang on, Freddie. I'm back. Quick little cut here. I was just thinking, we're talking about, I didn't know San Felice was coming up. That's how prepared I am for these shows. You know how I do them. Anyway, so we're in Germany right now, and tonight we're going to be drinking this Buletiello, which is a grape. This is from San Felice Winery as well. This is a grape that was lost and found, and anyway, really, really interesting. I'm going to be trying that, doing a review of it. Also, just some beautiful port-like style wine here. Actually, it's kind of more of a late harvest wine from San Felice. We have that as well. Really, really, really wonderful. Looking forward to trying those in about 4 hours, so that'll be good. So anyway, if you happen to be in the Tuscan countryside, San Felice, one worth checking out. And then, how strange is this? Let's go to the Willamette Valley and back to where we were just talking about a little bit ago, McMinnville and Martin Woods Rosé. So they've got a lovely tasting room downtown, and if you haven't, this is a 90-point wine, $28 a bottle. We enjoyed this rosé tremendously. The Martin Woods tasting room, well worth checking out while you're down there as well, and a fantastic little wine. So our wine of the week, little rosé for your summer here. Enjoy. And with that, let's wrap this up with our restaurant and Corkage of the week. All right, well, contradicting what I said earlier in the show, we're going to talk about Coast Range, a steak and seafood spot that is in Solvang. Hey, we gave it 4 stars. So not a horrible review, but they were just kind of missing on a few little things here. But we liked it. It is downtown. It does give you some other eating options when you're down there. Concept is clear. It's upscale steak and seafood, kind of an unpretentious setting. To its credit, man, we had moments where it really, really shined, particularly during the lunch service. The dinner service was hit or miss. Again, you never really know. Good enough that we thought it was worth doing a review and pointing out, because probably worth another try. So this is in Solvang. Corkage fees only $25, which is fantastic. I mean, if you're in Solvang, you're probably buying wine while you're bopping around there, and you want to go to dinner. You can come in, $25 a bottle. You're good to go. To its credit, Google get 4 stars with 400 reviews from Google, so that's not bad. So they got plenty of fans. We're going to revisit it and check it out. But if you're in Solvang, check it out. Give us your thoughts. Did we just there on it wasn't horrible. We had a great lunch, just an okay dinner. Let's know what you think. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this week's special show. I want to thank everybody so much for joining us. As always, please subscribe to us on YouTube. We would also love it if you would follow us on social media, as well as your favorite podcast app. Till next week, everybody, cheers.